Okay. So, before anything goes on, I do not like covering drama content, like, at all. Like, not in any way, shape or form. It's not interesting to me, like, at all. But I wanted to make a video on Chaos Zero Nightmare, and I know for a fact that if I do that, I'll be having people ask me, well, what does Japan think about the whole stuff that's going on in Korea right now? So, I've been looking at certain things for the past 30 an hour this morning, but it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on, and I thought I might as well take you guys on this journey with me, because it does feel like a journey. I mean, you can see all this stuff here. This is a massive webpage, and this is not even the entirety of all information. A lot of this stuff is just having some of the summaries of what's being said, of what's going on. So this is basically just me reading through all this, trying to make sense of it, and coming up to a conclusion on what I agree with Korea on, with the South Korean players on, and what I don't agree with. Just that sort of thing. I looked through descriptions on Reddit and some things on Twitter as well. I've also looked at what JP has said, and it just seems like an absolute clusterfuck of a situation, you know? So this is really, really confusing. So I thought I might as well just do this. 1 second. Let me just see if everything's up here. Good. So I'm just going to start reading through it. We've got all this overview here. Controversy over misandry, which is like misogynism is where you're bigoted against women. Misandry is like the opposite of that, where you're bigoted against men. So there's that. After the official release, September 25th, suspicion of AI illustrations, developer commentary after the official release, NTR controversy. That's the only real thing I've heard so far. I mean, that's the thing that got the majority of press, for lack of a better word, attention, should I say? Controversy over the neglect of protagonist, story defacement and workplace harassment. This seems like a pretty big thing. Controversy over the dialogue differences over overseas versions. Like, I've heard that the story, or the way the story reads, or whatever, in the Korean version is vastly different compared to how it is in both the English version and also in the JP version as well. So there's that. Let's just read through all this. So this document covers the controversies. Let me just zoom in as well. This document covers the controversies and incidents that arose in the game Chaos Zero Nightmare. It's sometimes referred to as Kazena in Korean. In Japanese, it's Kaozero. Despite its official release in October 2025, within a week, let alone a day, major issues, controversies over the story, misandry, AI illustration, payment models, and public opinion manipulation have erupted, each of which could shake the foundations of the subculture mobile game genre. I think that's a bit, saying a bit too much. So, yeah, I'm not really too sure about that. These issues were so numerous and so rapid that between immediately after release and early November, even Rekka YouTubers, I don't know what Rekka YouTubers, what's Rekka YouTubers? What's issue YouTubers? Oh, so basically kind of like drama YouTubers? Yeah, people that just basically cover drama. Okay, got it. Even drama YouTubers couldn't keep up with the pace of the new issues. Ultimately, within a week, domestic server discrimination and gacha copying bugs emerged. Super Creative is the developer of Chaos Zero Nightmare. Smilegate is the publisher, so might have like similar wording there. Super Creatives boast that this game will last until the end of the world was a complete contradiction of their confidence, leading to widespread criticism and condemnation as the worst game in the history of Korean subculture games. Okay, that's another really harsh thing to say. In truth, all of this controversy stems from the complete loss of gamers' trust by the developer, Super Creative. While some of the controversies were their own, others were exaggerated and become a source of controversy. What's going on here? Yeah. I need to reply to this. Okay, cool. Just needed to check on that. Where was I? So, while some of the controversies were their own, others were exaggerated and became a source of controversy. Since the days of Epic 7, Super Creative has maintained a reputation for user-hostile operations and countless incidents, leading to a decline in user trust. Even now, instead of addressing these controversies, they have consistently failed to address them, fueling them further. Therefore, the majority believe that the unfair exaggeration is their own fault. The recent controversies alone were enough to derail the game, but with the addition of the icing on the cake, the destruction of the original game plan and internal bullying controversy, public opinion has reached a critical point, making recovery virtually impossible. This has inevitably damaged the image of not only Super Creative, but also Smilegate as a whole. Coincidentally, we are the main sponsor of AGF 2025, Anime Game Festival 25. I'm guessing that's a Korean one that I'm not really familiar with. We are. So I'm guessing they were. There's some like mistranslations here because I'm going. This is originally a Korean website, just auto translated because I don't speak Korean, unfortunately. I'd love to be able to do that. That'd be pretty cool. Which will be held shortly, and we have also time to introduce our own content, or their own content. This work, which had a high possibility of being introduced as the main content at the event, ended up falling into a terrible situation before the event due to poor reviews, putting them in a very difficult situation. Okay. What's CZN? CZN is Chaos Zero Nightmare. That's the thing I'm trying to find out what's going on right now. So, here is one of the things that I've heard about. The controversy over misandry. Again, to reiterate, misandry is the being bigoted against male or male people. Male characters, could be for both of that. Controversy began in earnest when a character was discovered among moving his fingers and naturally fixed in a showcase video released on July 9th, 2025. What's that? So, they're talking about this video here. So this was source of a drama, apparently. I don't know what I'm missing. Let's find out. Directed with an unusually drawn gripping technique. Unusually drawn gripping technique. What? Drawn gripping technique? Will this load? Or an official webcomic, also found in large numbers. What? I don't know what that's referring to. Does anyone understand what this is talking about? Like, again, this stream here is like not a case of me telling you guys everything that I know. I literally don't know what's going on, so this is me trying to find out. And you guys are just like on this journey with me, you know? There's something wrong with this hand placement? Okay. Okay, so that was from the official... What? I don't know what was... The issue was raised in related communities. Similar controversies have been prevalent since the previous game Epic 7. Most of the community responded that it wasn't surprising and that they expected this to happen. What the fuck was... I don't... I don't get what he means. What was the issue with this? Oh, Falolo, you think this is about AI stuff? Oh, okay. So I've seen this image before. Also, so they're saying this. Oh, guys, I'm doing this hand right now just by fucking accident. This is something that people naturally. It's a pointing gesture. Like that is very specifically something. This is a pointing gesture. The fuck are they? Wait. Apparently, this is a reference to it as well. That looks like a railgun. What is the? I don't. Whatever. They finally acknowledged the issue and posted an official apology on Stove. It's just how you hold. Yeah, it's just a random gun. Like, well, you can do gun or pointing. It's just like this is very common. What was the issue? She's got her hand near a gun. They post an official apology on Stove. So this here. First, we'd like to express our sincere gratitude. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. From first users regarding inappropriate images due to specific expressions. While we should have provided a more immediate response, we have taken some time to thoroughly review all previous produced images and internal processes and provide clearer guidance. We sincerely apologize for the delay in this announcement. To clearly state that the Clean Zero Network Development Team and Operations Team does not support any specific ideologies or gender-based hatred. Based on your feedback, we are currently reviewing and replacing all resources that may be perceived as promoting specific social ideologies, regardless of the original intent of the game. Regardless of the original intent of the game? Fuck off! We will conduct a thorough investigation and pre-screening before the official launch to ensure a smooth and hassle-free okay, so they're just apologizing like, yeah, it might look like it to some people that have some weird, like, twisted view on things, and we'll change them so it doesn't look like something, even though it wasn't what we intended. Okay. Right. So, like, this one I still don't fucking understand. Right. Yeah, they've already... Okay, that's what we just read. However, as can be seen in the comments, the response was extremely cold and full of criticism. Again, I didn't read that. I didn't even bother. Even in Epic 7, the developer consistently remained unresponsive unless a major issue was identified and then belatedly apologized and fixed it. However, after 7 years, this behavior has remained unchanged, drawing ridicule. The fact that the previous game's karma was so severe that gamers' trust was at a rock bottom also played a role. As a result, even before the game's release, it caused one of the most concerning issues in the gaming industry in the 2020s, putting a red flag on the game's success from the start. They said they would start posting apologies and editing resources, but as of July 26th, the hand gesture is still in the advertisement illustration. Like... Where? Where? I'm legit asking. Where is the pink and thumb are close to? Oh, this? Jesus fucking Christ, man. Right, I'm just gonna say, right, this entire page is not getting off to a good start. It's you just do this. It's like, what's this? Like, what's that meme? What's the meme? Is this meme? It's like that. It's like this. It looks like this. Like what? Is this also a reference to this as well? The fuck? fuck are they talking about? It's a fucking hand. Whatever. Okay. The hand gesture is still in the advertisement illustration. The sincerity of the apology is being questioned as it is being emphasized. And there is even a fight with male users over various in-game contents. What in-game contents? Okay, I don't speak Korean, so I don't know what's going on. Translate to English, just so I... So in total, I don't know... Okay. As various factors were taken into consideration, the initial intention to anger consumers backfired and resulted in various abuses. After the official release, on October 23rd, 2025, the animation trailer video posted on the official YouTube there was later found to contain several unnatural scenes related to hand movements, such as using the right index finger to pinch the corner of a book and the left side index finger to turn the page, which ignited controversy. What? So that's apparently this is the problem. Like she's reading a book and her hand was okay. I'll be direct in a few seconds. And apparently her hand was in the wrong position. I'm gonna have to watch this. Right. Oh, fuck! Guys! You see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? Oh, he was holding a watch and his thumb came close to his index finger. That's clearly a reference. It's not because he was like closing the watch. It's not because he was closing the watch was open. It was open and then he closed it and then your hand naturally... It's not because of that at all. No, it's not. It's not. Were her hands like in the wrong unnatural position? No. How about her? I think it looks a bit unnatural to me. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so the top, I'm guessing they might be referring to this here. Right. She's reading a relatively smallish book. Let me try and get one. Okay. Right. I don't know about you. Does anyone else do this? Because I do. It's a good way to keep the fucking book open. This one, it's like this way. It's just easier. You can hold a book in your hand like this. This is a very common way to hold a fucking book. What do you mean it's unnatural? Wait, does she do anything else in this? 1 second, no. Frame by frame. And okay, so she goes over, then does that, and holds it open again. That's a very common thing to do. That's not unnatural. Okay? And then she's like, looking at something? The fuck are people talking about? What? Any more unnatural hand movements? Wait. Oh, guys, can you see that? 1 second, let me zoom in on stream for you. Let me zoom in on stream. You need to see this. You need to see it. Look 1 second. Just zoom in. Look at her hand right there. You can see the thumb and the index finger close together. That's insane. Okay, I'm convinced. I'm convinced. I'm absolutely convinced. Yep. Korean players are 100% correct. This is unnatural. Hands don't do that. If you put your hands by your side, my hands go like this. Like, at all times. My hands are always like this. Like, no one does that, right? No one does. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I really hope there's something more to this fucking page than just this bullshit. I really do. Because this is stupid. Do I need to watch any more? In fact, let's watch the rest. Oh, by the way, she's my favorite character. Why am I not surprised, you know? Wait. I saw something there. Watch again. Oh, I don't know why that happened. But like, right? Can you see right there? Can you see right there? Her hand. You got the finger and the thumb. It's so close together. Worst of all, it's on both. She's showing it twice. She's doing the double one. She's doing the double. Women aren't allowed to have hands, apparently. A lot of it is just angry players, but the story is getting rewritten now. Some people will believe the original writer was forced out with bullying. The thing is, Pixel, about it. Welcome in. How you doing? The thing is, though, from what I've seen, I'm trying to find all the details. From what I've seen, what I've heard so far, it feels a lot like the whole Assassin's Creed Shadows situation, right? Where there are some people that have legitimate problems with the stuff that's going on in Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? Like the representation of Japan as a country, the claims by the developers to say, oh, this is 100% accurate, or it's like we did our due diligence and all that sort of thing, and they're just getting like the most blatantly simplest things wrong. Like there are people, especially in Japan as well, that were really like aggrieved by that, and they don't like that at all. But then there were also a large part of the online sphere of things that don't really give a fuck about Japan. They don't really give a fuck about Assassin's Creed. They don't really give a fuck about anything like that. All they saw was like the whole DEI thing with Yasuke being a black samurai, and they jumped on. It feels like that as well. Like there are legitimate things that have had issues, like the whole writing story thing. I'm sure, and also the suspicions of use of AI. Like I completely get that, and that makes a lot of sense. But it feels like the ones that, from what I can see, because all those things were like, they've been out for a while, right? Like all those suspicions have been out for a while, and all of that. And it just feels like the people that are really sensitive, I'll put it that way, about the representation of their self-insert character and the perceived NTR-ness by Owen. I think they're being aggrieved by that, and they're getting really sensitive about that, and they're just using all this other stuff as fodder to attack them. Like, they don't really care about the AI stuff. They don't really care about the story. All they care about is this, and they're just using that as ammo. They're just using that as a hammer. That's the impression I'm getting so far. I do think there has been problems from what I've read. I need to read more into it about the behind-the-scenes stuff as well, but I don't think that's the main driving force of the outrage right now. You know? That's my impression so far. That's why I'm reading through this thing here to find out, like, what is going on. Like, this is supposed to be like in order, in chronological order. And they started off with the whole thing back in July and the whole drama around CZN started back around the whole hand gestures thing. That's what I'm saying. They're not getting off on a good start. This page here, you know? Right. Right. So, yeah, I watched through this video. There's nothing unnatural about the hand movements in this fucking video. Like, there's not... What? Whatever. Okay, so, yeah, so apparently the part is the right index finger to pinch the corner of a book and the left index finger to turn the page. That was a big drama about this one. In fact, if you look at various circumstances, it is highly unlikely that the parties involved, like the instigators of the Studio Roots misandry controversy, acted in an organized manner from the beginning of game development with their own principles and plans to the extent of relying on three motives. This is because there is an evaluation that the genre that most accurately resembles the work is hate material. And there is speculation that a story that was essentially a hate material fanfiction of the original author's original idea was accepted and reflected in this game. In reality, there are many circumstances where the original writer was ousted due to office politics. And this is something I want to find out more about. This is like, okay, that's pretty shitty, but I don't see why that's... A lot of these games have the same thing, so like, okay. And there are also traces of later revisions to the dialogue. As a result of that infighting, a group determined to troll the project rose to the mainstream, and the ensuing events are likely the cause of the current situation. From the production company's perspective, it may be unfair and unfair. I'm guessing they're using two different words in Korean, and they both mean basically the same thing. But the accumulated karma has already begun to dig up graves, so there is no clear answer. What? Okay. And so we'll go from, this happened back in July. So we got July, August. Okay, September. This is something I did actually hear about as well. There's controversy, and this is for you as well, Fololo. There's controversy over the use of AI images here and there in the game resources. I think I saw something about this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Stop zooming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that doesn't look natural. So, like, there's more fingers on here than should be there. So, it's either the artist fucked up or that was AI. And sometimes, to be clear, artists can and do fuck up. Okay, and there's this one here. Oh, this is the same image. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same. Okay. It's the same image. So there's just this one image. I thought there was more. I saw something about a foot that had like 6 toes on it. Is that like a different game I'm thinking of? It is true that the previous game, Epic 7, have many twists and turns in many ways, but as a company with the strengths in art resources such as unique animation, direction, and illustrations, they showed confidence in their art resources. However, the problem is that they actually gave rise to the worst perception and prejudice that all illustrated animations were just clicks. In a media preview held before the game's release, CEO Kim Kyung-seok boasted that they had poured in 5 to 10 times the amount of art resources as other games and showed confidence in their art resources by saying, "We'll compete with quantity and quality." However, suspicions were raised when the actual results were suspected to be AI illustrations. So again, yeah, they're saying, the devs were saying, "Oh, you were putting like 5 to 10 times more into our art in this game compared to other games," and then people were like, "It kind of looks like AI, no?" Maybe. Furthermore, the details of all the resources are so messed up that it's difficult to tell which ones are the originals, which fuels suspicions that AI images were used as is without the minimum of retouching or inspection. So, I don't know what they're like circling here. The chest strap iron buckle is tight. Yeah? The card illustration is full of holes and the appearance is also ugly. Yeah? The buckle is also pierced on this card. Buckle. Okay, so. Okay, so they're saying that because there's no, like, the pins in belt buckles weren't on that one, but they are on this one. And there's no buckle on. Okay, so they're saying that there's buckles here, but there's no buckles there. The cross belt that used to fit perfectly has become too big and hangs way down to. Okay. Amir is wearing an iron toshi on both arms, so I got this thing on both arms. But it's not on this one. I don't know if that's like evidence of AI art. It's like the art just fucked up. Luke wore the shoulder strap on his left shoulder. That's on his right shoulder, unless this is mirrored. So, okay. Yeah, then it's on the other shoulder. Okay, that's again. The sword on both shoulders seem to have left it at home. Gold trim. Wait, gold around the edges. I don't know. I don't know if this is evidence of AI art. It just looks like inconsistency, which is not uncommon. I'm not doubting that there probably is some degree of AI art somewhere. Like that hand thing with the guitar did look a bit weird, but like some of these here, it just like looks like inconsistency, which isn't guaranteed to be AI art. It's just like artists fuck up. Like they forget certain details or whatever. Like some people, it's not even the same people drawing the same character. Okay. But for art inconsistency, this is no. It is a lot. Oh, I'm not excusing it. Like it is. It's a lot, sure. But is it worth getting really worked up over? Like the belt's on the wrong shoulder. Okay. Have you seen the artifacts art? I think I've seen a couple of them. Is it the one I'm thinking of, like where like it's like a really good like foot shot, like just like very low, the legs right there, and it's like looking up, and she's got 6 toes. Is that Chaos Zero Nightmare, or is that a different game? I remember seeing that on Twitter. The day after the closed beta test ended, a developer commentary video was posted regarding the game's art resources. To summarize, the video stated that while AI was indeed used for reference images and will continue to be used in future planning drafts, it was not used during the character's drawing process and will not be used in the future. While the judgment is up to the user, the implication of the statement is that those who claim to offer the best 2D graphical quality in Korea made numerous mistakes, and that there were worse than even the AI results. I don't know about worse than the AI results, but like, yeah, it's not the best. Been around, welcome in. I don't think there's an artifact card like that. I remember seeing something online. It might be a different game. Meanwhile, the explanation at the time mentioned that AI art was used to renew older characters, and following controversy over the damage of Chaos Zero Nightmare story and workplace bullying, some opinions have linked this to the issue. Okay, so got these two images here. Okay, so it's just pointing out. It's the same images we saw before. What about this one? This is the same page. Alright. I'm not going to doubt it, because I have heard accusations of AI being used on the artifact cards. I'm like, yeah, that sucks. After the official release, an illustration of the problematic in-game attendance event, the leg area is bent in a T shape and the bottom of the skirt extends down past the leg. Okay, so this one here, like, maybe? Like, it looks like the ass is coming here, her legs bent here, and they bent back up there, so she's jumping. This fold here looks a bit unnatural, sure, Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely can be. It's just a long skirt. But, like, yeah, I mean, if someone told me this was AI, I'm like, yeah, maybe. However, after the official release, illustrations suspected of using AI have been confirmed. Okay, so I'm guessing this is the same image. No, different only. And the hand here. The hand here. What's going on with the hand? I want to zoom in on this. 1, 2, 3 fingers and a thumb. Possibly the fourth finger could be hidden behind the index, behind the middle finger, but don't really care. I mean, it's possible, but nah. If someone said that was AI, possibly, probably, I don't know. In addition, distorted AI illustrations that do not even match the basic human body structure have been discovered. Again, I'm not surprised. Yeah. Right, no, okay, so this is something I'm not actually too convinced on, because, like, this could just be the dress being really long and hanging past. Why are you drawing a whatever? I'm not too sure about that one. Like, I saw, like, the butt goes here, legs go down here, legs go up there, but I'm not even going to bother, like, fighting that. It's like, okay, cool. In the case of the illustration in question, the leg part of the skirt. Okay, this is again going over what we just saw. Because of this, in addition to the NTR controversy below becoming a meme and spreading, mockery or futanari memes that the character in question is actually a zealot are also spreading. Is that what we just saw? All right. All right. In a post about the... one second, got music. Tell me it's gone. In a post about the alleged employee authentication mentioned below, a user presumed to be a super creative employee left a comment claiming that the higher up had instructed a new employee in their department to create an AI image to be used in Kazena, Chaos Zero Nightmare. So this is a confirmation that someone in the high up administration of Chaos Zero Nightmare told one of their employees, use AI. This is a screenshot. I can't translate this. I'm just going to take their word for it. So again, I wouldn't be surprised. Because all these companies are trying to save money somewhere, you know? Also known as a third leg. I mean, I get called third leg all the time, bro. I mean, I can't help it. It just happens. Later in the unused illustrations that were revealed through the clippings mentioned below, no trace of AI was seen, raising suspicions that the current illustration was created by running AI training on existing illustrations. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at. Like, they just said that they can't find examples of AI, so I'm like, if you can't find examples of it, so what am I supposed to be looking for? Okay. Okay, so this is coming up to October. Story-related problems. The NTR controversy. For more information, see the okay, so let's go to this other article here. Translate to English, please. I don't speak Korean. They said that the older art has no evidence of AI, but the new art does. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for unless it like circles it out. Yeah. Okay. So, talking about the NTR stuff specifically, the controversy arose due to excessive cold treatment, NTR, that's not what NTR is, but okay, that the protagonist's captain receives as Owen, one of the characters in Chaos Zero Nightmare, is portrayed as if he were the main character, linked to and promoted by various female characters. Yeah. On the other hand, the true main character and player character, the captain, is portrayed as a screen or like or an uninvited guest, or basically just as like a cameraman. This eventually led to the creation of can I speak English? Of derogatory terms such as dating when it's game, pretty funny, and take a picture of my relationship with a camera and then go away. I'm guessing that must sound better in Korean, but it doesn't really have the same ring to it in English. The decisive factor that ignited this controversy is that the story and plausibility are poor, treating the characters as if they are antagonistic rather than having a non-existent relationship. Fundamentally, even if Owen or the captain were female, the cold treatment would not have changed. I'm not sure about that. I'm not entirely convinced about that. Let's just put it that way. So the NTR controversy would not have gone away. This is why it is called the NTR controversy. It is recommended that the content that focuses on issues arising from the cold treatment of protagonists other than NTR be included. In the Chaos Zero Nightmare protagonist cold treatment, the same thing. Okay. Problems with Owen's portrayal in the work. So this is a line from Owen here. So Captain Beryl, use this life core. Is that alright, Captain? Renoa, I think in English. Owen says that human personality can be broadly divided into two types. Wow, she quoted another character in the world. Anyway, it's sad that if they hired artists and then fed their work into AI to cut costs. Yeah, that does suck. That is really scummy behavior. Like, 100% agreed. I'm guessing this is she. She actively shows affection for Owen, but the captain reprimands him no matter which choice he makes. I'm guessing this is a mistranslation where it means, but reprimands the captain no matter what choice the captain makes. I can't read Korean. Let's just see what the comments are saying here. Oh my gosh, it's Owen again. I can't but praise him. So they do have a problem with Owen. I've heard some people saying that the Korean players don't really have an issue with Owen. It's just like a minor thing. But I don't know. I do think they do have an issue with Owen. And then let's have a look at this one here. I'm guessing this is where they reprimand Captain. If you're going to pick me no matter what I choose, just tell Hanam to get lost. I hate you, Captain. Okay, so they're just like complaining about the captain not being blown. The captain's worried about Owen, who has a wounded arm, even though the ship has been breached. Alright. Go. I feel sad and uneasy that my parents' generation killed the monster that reigned over chaos and the greatest enemy of mankind. I don't want to ruin anything, but I'm sobbing at the sight of North Korean corpses. What? Owen is being consumed. I don't dare approach him, and I don't want to attack him. When Owen was injured during battle, Orlia was startled and thought it was time to join the fight for Owen. I mean, Owen's a teammate, so wouldn't people want to save their teammate? The captain tries to return him, but it's impossible because of the book, so when Lenoa mentions an emergency return, a return that is automatically activated when life is threatened, he thinks this might be the right time to appeal that he has a different opinion and picks on Renoa. Renoa also quickly changes her mind. While the captain rushes in and stops Owen, you guys figure out among yourselves. I came up with such a stupid plan, but first going in on the front, don't be crazy. What? Of course he failed to achieve his goal. I don't understand what's going on. Like, I've seen this part in the story, but I don't understand what the issue was. The issue was like Owen got caught, and then his teammates tried to save their teammate. After saving him, they thought it was time to start a catfight to eliminate Renoa from the battle for possession. So, like, because it seems like Lenoa is close to Owen. Like, these other girls, like, kind of like fought over each other to get their shot. The issue, I think, is that the captain was injured, but the girls went to Owen first. Like, Here the TLDR, Owen got injured, one female carried him back, and they call it NTR. Like, yeah, like that's what I thought as well. Because guys, I've watched playthroughs of the story because I like to try and keep on top of things. I've not played. I played the game for about 20 something, 15 or 20 minutes at Tokyo Game Show. Pretty fun. But I've not really had time to sit down and play through it. So when I'm like driving from place to place for work, I'll have like a playthrough on my phone so I can like follow. Owen is more just amplifying how Captain is sidelined. The translation issue is very clear too. Yeah, I've heard that there's differences between the Korean translation and the English and Japanese translation, and maybe it's because I've been following the story in English. It was English subtitles and Japanese dubs, but I never really felt an issue. So maybe there's like a massive difference in Korean. Are we going to have another rover situation if they rewrite that? Probably. Enjoying the party with just Owen without the captain? Okay. Okay. These people do realize that things happen without them. The good ending where she gets involved with the captain is treated as an irregular affair, and the hidden ending that follows the true ending is a trauma story of Renoa strengthening her bond with Owen and the team members excluding the captain. The captain gave the order, but Owen got the praise. This must be like... Is it like a completely different game in Korean? Okay, so I fell asleep and two girls with red hair and green hair came out and said, "Hey, what's up?" And then we got into a fight. But right before the battle, Owen, who wasn't there, suddenly pops out and explains the battle tutorial. What's this? And after the first battle like this, in other games, I expected the commander understands tactics perfectly. This is like a reference to Arc Knights. Even though you've lost your memories, your commanding skills haven't rusted. Wow, Master, that's amazing. That was great conducting. It's common to say, is a common thing to say, like after that. This game ends, and when the battle is over, "Hey Owen, have you gotten any better? You're good?" And then out of the blue, they praised Owen, not me who led the team. What's this? I have a really weird feeling right now. I never got that. I never got that impression when I went through that part of the story. It's got to be completely fucking different in Korean or something. Even though Captain saved Ray from trauma, we got another Ray situation from Girls Frontline 2? Even though Captain saved Ray from trauma, I'm kidding by the way. From the incident in the tutorial, they didn't praise Owen, let alone the Captain. Roritin, I did say that I'm like trying to read through this and trying to understand it myself. I can't read this and chat at the same time. Like, chill. They didn't praise the MC. Shit game, burn it down. Yeah, that's the impression I'm getting too. YouTube chat dead again? I've got it up. It should be... I just have all chat turned off on here. Like, it's up there. I can read it on the side here. I'm just trying to focus... Like, this is on this screen. I have to look over here for chat. And this is on this screen over here. I can't do that. I was trying to see if there's anything that like addressed that. I just assume too many things that are happening without the Captain might well as not exist. I disagree with that. Like I prefer things happening in in tandem. Like, where nothing in the world happens unless the protagonist does it, that feels fucking weird. Like, it's more like a case of the things are happening in the world, and the protagonist is in that world, and they are making a significant change. Like, they're not causing everything to happen, but they're making significant changes and like saving the world, for example. Like, no. They're literally just mad it's not Master Love. I mean, so far it reads like that, but I want to get to the part where they got the writer bullying situation, because that seems pretty fucked up. I'm just going to continue reading. Looking at the various depictions of Owen in the game, he is often involved in roles that would normally be reserved for the protagonist in other games. If Owen were the protagonist and player, this would be a natural and unproblematic move, but since Owen isn't the protagonist, the player ends up being ignored by the characters. To depict this structure, it would have been better to have the protagonist provide support from the beginning in the third person, like in Counterside. Counterside's protagonist, the administrator, is not directly present at the scene, but rather acts as a kind of mastermind, supporting the characters from behind the scenes. This has led to criticism that he's part of a troupe that's difficult to immerse yourself in. However, thanks to the atmosphere of a mastermind who supports the main characters and draws the bigger picture, and the story development that emphasizes that a world without a protagonist is doomed, the characters' importance and treatment are not criticized. Additionally, as the story unfolds, other characters take on the role of protagonists, and the player watches the character's activities from a third-person perspective. However, a character's activities are described as having the protagonist's big picture or assistance, thereby highlighting both the characters and the protagonist. Okay, so long story short, other main characters are doing main character shit, and they don't like that. Only the protagonist, only us, the player, can be the main character, and everyone else is a side character. Am I reading that correctly? Am I reading that correctly? That's just what that sounds like. Okay, cool. Fuck me. You know what these guys would be like? No, okay. Imagine if Lord of the Rings came out, like brand new, and it was a new game, right? And I think people would argue that Frodo is the protagonist, right? These sorts of people would play that game, play the new, brand new Lord of the Rings game, and they'd get fucking NTR'd by Legolas. They'd freak out over Legolas. They'd freak out over Aragorn. They'd freak out of all the other fucking characters because they're not the ones doing the badass shit. Fuck me. Read a fucking book. Holy shit. You have main characters, and the main characters should do main characters shit. Like, yeah, you're the protagonist, and you're like from that point of view, and you are doing important stuff as well. And maybe you're not doing the most important stuff at all times, because, fun fact, Frodo is an important part of the story, and they do the big thing at the end of the story as well, but like, they're fucking, like, they're being literally carried by everyone else for the majority of the story. Like, they're the main character, right? Arguably. And they're the protagonist, right? But like, holy fucking shit. It says right there, the issue is how the protagonist is introduced and the role. Yeah, again, I still don't see the problem. Yeah, like, you could just put the same thing for Frodo. Or, let's just go to, like, say, ReZero. ReZero, for example. Like, Subaru. Subaru starts off like a fucking loser. Like an absolute like, not even kidding. Subaru, or Barasu, in ReZero, I fucking hate that dude. Well, hated that dude. He's the most whiny, annoying piece of shit. But he's a protagonist. And what I really enjoyed about Subaru is watching him evolve, watching him grow to be a stronger character, a stronger person in general, and being an actual fucking great character. Like, you don't have to start off being like the OP Giga Chad in every fucking story. Like, allow the characters to grow. Subaru is like the ignorant tourist, basically, yeah. If you present a story where you're the protagonist who seems to be pretty important, then get silent afterwards, it's just subverting your audience. Doesn't matter if it's because of harem or not. I've not even spoken about harem, really. I'm just speaking about main characters. Like, other main characters doing main character shit. Where did I get? On the other hand, the captain, who is the player character of Kazuna, Chaos Zero Nightmare, is just a supporting character, even though he is active with the characters. And since Owen is the focus that the player receives, it is inevitable that there will be complaints from those who want to see the story in which the player is active. In the end, the captain was baited in close combat to save Owen, but his ship was pierced and he turned into a donut. What? Oh, it's just got pierced. Okay, got it. But the female characters, including Renoa, are busy worrying about Owen, who has an injured arm. Again, the impression people are getting from the Korean side, compared to how I read, that was nowhere near the same. After Lenore explains what will happen if the captain dies, in Korean it's "we went through the trouble of saving you," while overseas it is "we desperately save you." Okay, Shino, thank you so much. I've been trying to look for stuff like that as well. Is there like a list of these comparisons of KR English translations? Because I want to see more of that as well. Because the way that this is reading does not match up in any way, shape, or form to the way that I experienced the story. Like that's a big difference. We went through the trouble, of saving you, you know? To like, we desperately tried to save you. We desperately saved you. Like, that's a very different thing. Captain just almost gets stabbed. Did he actually get full-on impaled in the story? I don't remember that part. I found it in Reddit. Do you want a link? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, please. Or at least tell me what I should search for on Reddit so I can find it myself. I don't think YouTube allows for links to be posted. I want to see more of that shit. Also, in the case of Countryside, when a love line is depicted between a male and female character, the player does not interfere with it. And there are no male characters who consider the player to be their love interest, so there's almost no NTR hints. I'm like, alright, whatever. On the other hand, in the current Chaos Zero Nightmare, the main character is active with the female characters, but Owen, who is not the main character, gets involved with the female characters a lot, so he cannot avoid criticism. Like, so that part there is just them reading like, no, he's a guy, he's not supposed to talk to female characters, he's not allowed. I'm like, that's like, grow the fuck up. And as mentioned above, Owen could have been the protagonist of the scene as a combatant instead of the captain who is unable to fight. Also, if Owen's young appearance is utilized and the captain leads Owen can take care of his younger brother's image and the captain can take care of his image as a competent person at the same time. However, he gets involved with female characters instead of the captain, does not establish the captain's authority, and does not share credit with the captain. He became like a single protagonist. Like, are male characters not allowed to have friends or what? Apparently not. This is the complete translation of controversy as to say, but okay, well, let me just copy it. Is it on here? Okay, this is very similar to what I'm reading right now, no? When did this come out? Oh, yesterday. No wonder I didn't see it. Oh yeah, so they're basically just giving a translation of what I'm reading right now. The Namu article. Like, this is the Namu article I'm reading right now. So I've gone through that. So maybe this has a better translation, because many Korean players read the shipped story as repeatedly elevating Owen to de facto lead status, framing multiple heroines around him with the player protagonist captain is treated as a bystander or we read that. Trigger pattern. It wasn't one romance scene, but an accumulation of beats where the captain is sidelined, contradicted, or talked down to while praising agency concentrated on Owen. The mismatch between role expectations and on-screen treatment made the issue explode on day one. Role distribution versus gender. Critics argue that the problem persists regardless of gender swap. I disagree with that. This sounds like bullshit. This one here sounds like bullshit. I just do not trust this at all. Like, I guarantee, I'm pretty much, I would willing to bet money. Like, if Owen was not a male character, if Owen was a female character, they would not say shit. How's the CZN issue so far? Not looking good, in the sense of, like, I still don't understand what the fuck their problem is. Well, I've seen some, like, translation differences, which is like, yeah, that's an issue. But, like, from what I'm reading so far, like, chronologically, they started off on the whole hand signal thing, and it just got worse since there. They would say threesome if Owen was a female. Probably. Yeah. Shared spoils or mission outcomes would default to Owen. Scenes celebrate his choices while the captain is scolded or excluded. Again, this has got to be something in the Korean, because I didn't get that, like, at all in English. Well, again, English subs, Japanese dubs. I didn't get that in either language. Some routes or epilogues build bonds that conspicuously do not involve the captain. So fucking what? Coherence complaints. Players say the story undercuts its own stakes by making the captain non-essential to key resolutions, creating tonal whiplash and weakening the investment in the mainline story progression. It depends on what the captain does, no? Like, the captain doesn't have to do everything. That's why he's the captain. When you're a captain, you delegate things so other people do things on your... And sometimes people do things without the captain knowing as well. That's how captains, like, in terms of, like, ships and shit, that's how things fucking work. And when people do things on the ship, not all credit has to go to the captain. The label NTR became a shorthand on Korean boards, then turned into memes and parody edits. The term stuck because it captured the felt humiliation, displacement more than any single line of dialogue. Early on, non-KR threads focused more on the price gameplay. That's the stuff I've mainly been seeing as well. Like, I've looked on the JP reviews and such, and even then, when they do mention, it's mainly been on the gameplay and some criticism for the rates, the gacha pull rates. But whenever people have spoken about the story, there's always been like, yeah, the story's good. So I've never really seen anyone criticize the story. The only thing I have seen on the EN side is like localization issues, but like the actual story itself, I've not really heard any complaints. But maybe I'm just not looking in the right places, I don't know. But as clips circulated, similar NTR-ish readings appeared in other regions. Still, Korean forums remain the epicenter of the framing. Bottom line, for these readers, the fundamental issue is the narrative choosing a non-player center, while repeatedly denying the captain credible agency. Intimacy arcs, or respect that genre conventions usually guarantee. Okay, so this, I think this is the main part here. Like, well, all the other gacha games I've been playing, they blow me as soon as I wake up. Why didn't I get my blowjob? Why aren't they jumping on my dick? That's just basically what that sounds like. I'm sorry, that's just what it sounds like. Okay, I wanted to read more about this. Dialogue difference controversy between overseas and Kara versions. I want to read through this one. I'm going to skip ahead to this part here. In Korea, the game has become controversial for NTR-like player abusive content. Overseas, people did not recognize this or reacted relatively lukewarmly for a time. Like, again, I didn't get that, like, at all, in either English or JP. Interestingly, this section, combined with the later hate fic lead, explains the truth of the development process more concretely and plausibly. It leads to the conclusion that due to in-house politics, again, I want to know more about this, the original author became exhausted and left and left. The representative, jealous of the original author, intervened and, to erase the original plan, inserted things opposite to the existing user's sensibilities. E.g., examples NTR to teabag them. Alright. The cause turned out to be that in the overseas translations, Japanese and English, the nuance of the lines was the exact opposite of the above. Again, rather than mistreating the captain, characters sounded as if they were excessively praising the captain. It became a question of whether the overseas translation site unilaterally altered the original text or whether only the KR version had been changed to such a script. For whatever reason, some argued that there was a problem on the developer's side. Where Judas cuts into a conversation to say he wants to talk to the captain, Renault's reaction is... question? In KR, but... like... in overseas. Where Judas cuts into a conversation to say he wants to talk to captain. Well, there's no words there. I don't really... This one's like more surprise, and this one can also be read as surprise. Yeah, Zorzak, I'm thinking the same. Is like question more offensive or what? Chiron gets praised by Augusta and Shikana in the latest story quest. Are we getting NTR'd? Absolutely. Different meaning? What's the meaning that I'm missing then? Because I read a lot of like Korean manhwa as well, and I've seen this, and it's like shock and confusion. No. I don't know the context of the scene, so I don't know. Yeah. It just says here the context of like Judas cuts into a conversation to say he wants to talk to the captain. After Lenore explains what will happen if the captain dies, in Korean it's "we went through the trouble of saving you." Again, this was in chat earlier. While overseas it is "we desperately saved you." Again, this is more like what I experienced as well. We went through the trouble of saving you. Like if this is a case of like this, okay, fuck, it's so annoying to save you. We went through all that trouble and like, oh, there we go. I'm like, if it's like that, then yeah. I mean, that's just a case of like change the Korean to fit more with the English and Japanese, no? Why would they replace the ... exclamation point with the question? Again, I think it's just like to show surprise. For Rin, the Japanese and Korean lines differ. In Japanese, there is a direct mention of marriage. In Korean, there is not. 1 year prior, the Korean official YouTube had a trailer short where Rin said a marriage line, so people argued it was deliberately changed for ideological reasons such as non-marriage or antinatalism. Yeah, oh my lord, no marriage mention? What are we gonna do? Like, I think, like, I don't care. I don't care. Overall, while playable characters liking Owen more than the captain is a common thread, overseas this did not become a big issue. Because, yeah. Rather, high prices and insufficient gameplay drew more criticism there. That's what I've been seeing as well on the JP side and in EN. Later, however, the notion that there is an NTR-like mood also spread in Chinese communities. Again, I'm not surprised by China. Thus, it was no longer only Korean users raising the issue. Considering where the have mail, won't play movement started, once the rumors properly spreads, success in the Chinese market, the top revenue region, would become unrealistic. Because of this, there was a suspicion that the company posted an unusually late night notice related to the story issues. Even Japan, where they seem to try to camouflage things by revising lines, began noticing that the lines in the Korean and Japanese versions differ greatly. In an era when information and memes travel across countries and AI translation lowers language barriers, such a shallow camouflage will be exposed quickly. I have not seen that. In terms of in terms of Chaos Zero Nightmare, when it comes to lines. I've not seen. They just say talking about the recent notice saying, "Oh, but they're changing the story." I've not seen much in terms of like. Maybe we should search for a Cityfoot. Oh, fuck's sake! I hate switching between Japanese and English. I've not seen this line. What are they talking about? Okay. Fuck's sake, we just staying. I've already seen this as well. It's very confusing to follow. It's like a translation of a translation, so. I've not seen any posts from JP talking about that. There may have been some, but I just haven't seen them. I haven't seen them. I can't confirm that. I just haven't seen them at all. So I would like to see what this is referring to, because I've been following the JP conversation. I also have another page where I'm looking at... One second, where is it? 1 second, let me show you. Where I'm like looking for what... Just posts about Chaos Zero Nightmare on JP's side, like for their reviews, their thoughts on gameplay and such. I've also looked at the... just refresh this here for you guys. At the Google Play reviews and such, like what they're saying. Even that I've filtered for the negative ones as well. And yeah, I can't see that. Like, even when it comes to the story, I'm bored. It's good that they're particular about the story and the system, but honestly, it's a pain. Like, you're forced to play through Chaos, and the story manually doesn't even though you don't fully understand how it works. Like, yeah, whenever I've like looked through here when it comes to the story has not been a part of the negative or the negative reviews on this, like, at all. It's always been like the gacha systems, crashes, or the balances. I've not seen anything when it comes to this. Same thing on the iOS side as well. Again, this is Chaos Zero Nightmare 4.7 on the JP side of iOS. And I've done checks on here to confirm that. App Magic. JP side 4.5. UK 4.8. United States 4.7. Australia 4.6. But when we go to South Korea, 2.2. Yeah. So this part here, I can't confirm. I have not seen that at all. I've been looking for it. I haven't seen it. A notice appeared later saying they would address translation quality issues regardless of server, thus it became unclear what would happen. Some speculated that the fix applied to lines without voiceovers, explanatory texts, or proper nouns, not to... Wait, this is a... 1 second. This is a translation of the Namu thing, right? Does this have a link in here? No. So this is just saying, even in Japan, the same thing here. Like, oh, even Japanese players were saying the same thing. Like, I've not seen that. I can't find that. I can't confirm. I was wondering if they had like a link in here, you know, like a reference. But apparently not. Not to the key voice lines. Only when it ships will the truth be known. Also, not a dialogue difference, but in the achievement list, trust is still labeled as affection, suggesting that cleanup is incomplete. In some women-dominated communities, there was a trend of criticizing male communities for being foolishly angry at NTR and saying they had no reason to care about such a crass game. However, that severely obscures the essence as stated above. The original writer was driven out through office politics. This one I want to know more about. And the original plan was overturned to erase their traces. That is what was exposed. As of Saturday, November 1st, during a live broadcast starting at 9 p.m, the director provided an explanation. He claimed that issues like the bridal class translation were due to bugs rather than deliberate editing. Again, I'd like to see more examples of differences in Korean versus Japanese and English. Yeah, the workplace harassment seems like the most serious charge that they don't focus on it. Like, that's what I'm thinking as well. Like, I would be more annoyed with that than anything else. But, like I said earlier in the stream, it feels like they've got a massive bone to pick with Owen as a character just in general, and they're justifying their anger at that by bringing up everything. Oh yeah, you had AI stuff as well, didn't you? What about the treatment of the writer? Yeah. What's his name? I don't know his name. I don't really care. But you treated him really badly. I'm like, it just feels like they're using those other things as blunt instruments to hit them over the head with it, when their main thing is the Owen situation. They're angry at NTR and dig everything that can be used as ammo to attack the company. Yeah, that's my impression so far. What if Owen is removed from the story? Ultimately, Owen, along with Renoa and Ray, became the most unpopular characters, considering them as the main villains by users. With a small but vocal support number of supports, the vast majority of users are demanding his removal. However, objectively speaking, removing Owen alone won't solve the problem if the narrative remains the same. As mentioned, Owen has already usurped the role of the main character, the captain. His remarkable performance monopolizes the spotlight, and his relationships with other key characters, including Renoa, are far deeper than those of the protagonist. In other words, his role in the story has grown to an unmanageable level. In this situation, arbitrarily removing Owen, such as by killing him off, would leave a significant hole in the story, making it untouchable. This is the biggest concern among fandoms who believe Owen is the story's Mary Sue character. Even if Owen is removed, the story will not improve. Rather, the story will likely be ruined further due to the void left by Owen, who had such a huge role. In this case, the development team and a small number of game supporters will obviously only distort the story and play with the media saying the story has been distorted because of the users nagging. I mean, that's pretty much fucking true. I have a quick question. Who's read a manga? There's also an anime about this as well, unfortunately. Cut short, unfortunately. Called High School of the Dead. Anyone read that? Anyone watched the anime? I have every volume of High School of the Dead. Right, in the beginning of that story, right, they've got the main character, the protagonist, and he has a friend who's like just basically the better version of the protagonist. And the girl seems interested in the friend, but like not really. And then the friend basically sacrifices himself to save both the girl and the main character, right? It could have just been a case of that, very possibly. Where they were building, I don't know, this is just my speculation right now, pure speculation from what I understand of the story so far, where they could have been building Owen to be this, their words, Mary Sue type character, being like the character that's like loved by everyone, just like everyone, and they wanted the players to also like Owen as well, and so, yeah, I think they should kill Owen off. Like they should continue with the story and bring it to a part where Owen does get killed off. And that does leave a hole, because you know what happens then? You get some fucking conflict. And that makes the story a lot more interesting. Yeah, like Gurren Lagann, exactly. I mean, this is something that's happened in a lot of stories throughout time, where you've got the main character, you've got the main protagonist, and there's essentially just like a better version of the main protagonist. and you go through the story with that dynamic for a while, and then something happens and that other better version of the main protagonist dies, and the main protagonist has to step up. Like, hello sensei, at first I want to explain that in Korea there was a radical feminist group which had the symbol, it means small pp of Korean men. I'm very familiar. Korean men are very sensitive to this gesture due to malice. I went through it earlier, but it seems like Korean men are just sensitive to hands in general. Like, if you're holding a book, like, just naturally, oh, that's the gesture. If you have your hands down by your sides, naturally, oh, that's the gesture. If you're pointing at something, that's the gesture. I'm like, fuck off. Like, not saying you to fuck, I'm just saying they're being really, really sensitive about anything to do with hands. I don't care if another male character has a relationship with one of the heroines, as long as they don't treat me like I don't exist. Owen is not that important though. I mean, he seems like the main character apparently, according to these people. They got attacked by Zanny holding a cup. Oh, wait, I remember something like that. Wuthering Waves, Zanny, cup. Was it this image or is it something else? Which one? I can't remember. There was something like that. Was it this image? I also remember the thing that they had in ArcNets as well. I'm gonna search for Korea. Yeah, it's probably it. This is a very common way to hold something. Like, it's very, like, if you're holding something at the top here like that, it's like you're holding. You can hold thing. Jesus fucking Christ. Right. Nikkei anniversary art was fixed too. It's too early to drink. I actually got this out the other day, but in fact, I don't think it's too early. Reading through this, I feel like I need a drink, I'll be quite honest. I saw something earlier. Wait. I saw something about the background as well. The background, there was like a wreath. There was like a wreath in the background. Where was that? I saw an image of it. Can I find it? Oh, there it is. This. I think this is what you were talking about earlier. Like we support Megalian. I don't know. Like this wreath here. Like they got triggered by a wreath. Oh, Nick, let's have a look.
Nikkei faced major controversy in Korea after releasing an anniversary illustration that featured a pinching hand gesture. This symbol is often used by certain feminist groups in Korea to mock men, implying they have small pee-pee, and it's considered highly sensitive in the country. The devs issued an apology, explaining that the artwork was outsourced to an overseas studio with no intention to offend, then released a revised version and gave free in-game compensation items.
It's a fucking hand. Like... Oh my god. Oh. Okay. When do I get to the actual important stuff? Tell me it looks like pinching. It just looks like the hand, like just it's like your hand naturally goes to that. You just spread you put your hand out like that. It's like it naturally go like fuck, dude. It's like a hand. So like all hands at all times have to be like flat and together, or like in. It's just like the hand naturally goes to this shape. Like, I've got my hand. Okay, guys. True story. I have my hand on my... No, I don't. I have my hand on my mouse right now. Guess what shape my mouse is in right now? Let's have a look. Holy fucking shit. And mice are designed this way because it's the natural resting position of a fucking hand. I'm like... Seriously, that's offensive as fuck. I'm holding a can. Imagine if I put my... Oh, it's in the shape. It's in the shape. Guess what else I'm doing? I'm holding a pen. I'm holding a pen. I got my phone in my hand. Look at it from the side. Oh! Jesus fucking Christ. So it sounds like artists which typically try to draw characters in natural situations are not allowed to draw hands in natural situations. Wasn't there actually a phone advertisement that hold their hands like that, except in Korea? I would not be surprised. Okay, so can we get past this fucking bullshit? iPhone series. Can I find that as well? iPhone series advertisement hand gesture Korea. That was not hard to find. Holy fucking shit! That was not hard to find. That was not fucking hard to find. Holy shit. That was so easy to find, man. Spooky Nom Nom. Love your name. Like, there are valid complaints about their rewrites, but the NTR stuff really detracts from it. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Again, that's why I'm reading through all this, because I want to find out more information about those rewrites, like what the original story was, what it was going to be like, and like, it sounds like the story was going to be darker. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, let's fucking go. But again, it's to use the example that I've used like twice already. It's like the whole Assassin's Creed Shadows thing, where like, yeah, there are legitimate problems that people have specifically in Japan with Assassin's Creed Shadows and like their representation of Japan just in general, all the while saying like, yeah, this is Japan, this is what it was like, this like 1-for-1, we got it right. Yeah, like you had legitimate issues, and I made a few videos on that as well, where I went through all of them as well. But then you got like the anti-woke, anti-DEI, and you know what I'm talking about, the right-wing chuds jumping on that, like, and trying to like co-opt the whole outrage to push their own bigotry and their own hatred. Say, oh no, it's not because Yasuke is a black guy. No, that's not the issue, like, at all. Like, yeah, for you, yes, it fucking is. For Japan, no, it isn't. And like, I'm not fucking stupid. The same thing for, like, this is just the way it sounds to me as well for the whole Korea. These Korean players were like, yeah, there are issues to be had with like the use of AI in the artwork. There's issues to be had with the rewrites of the story where there was a darker story and they like rewrote it to whatever. There are issues, but I don't think that's the main driving force behind the whole outrage in Korea right now. You know, the AC Shadow stuff was really bad also. No, Reggie, I completely agree. It was, but it was, and there was like significant outrage on the JP side, like legitimate outrage on the JP side, but it wasn't because of Yasuke. Whereas I would say on the American side, for the most part, it was because of Yasuke and Black Samurai, and they just used all the other excuses, well, all the other reasons as excuses. iPhone better give us apologems. Yasuke loves Japan loves Yasuke as far as I'm aware. They don't care about Yasuke. I'm going to go through it again. You can watch my videos, and I do recommend you do so. The JP opinion on Yasuke was like, yeah, have him in the story, but just don't present him as something that he wasn't. Like, the main issue was like presenting him as something that he wasn't. If they presented Yasuke as someone that Oda Nobunaga had kept close, and if anything, it was like he was brought around and seen in such a way that it felt like Oda Nobunaga was keeping him as a pet. And I do not like, I realize like the problematic nature of phrasing it in that way, but that literally was how he was being like brought around and such. He was not some respected samurai warrior, it just wasn't. So, like, the main issue they had was, like, how Yasuke was being presented, but not Yasuke as a character being in the story, like, at all. It's a completely different fucking conversation. Okay. Can I get some other shit other than stupid this symbol? In-game, deletion of some user accounts. On October 23rd, some user accounts were deleted. That sucks. Although a notice later said they would proceed with restoration by noon on the 24th, there were reportedly no restored accounts and no replies to inquiries. Users worried they would simply remain silent. On October 29th, it was confirmed that the bug occurred again. Again, that fucking sucks. That sucks, but like, it's not worthy of this amount of outrage. It's definitely worthy of outrage, but especially by those that had their accounts deleted. But like, not worthy of this amount of outrage. especially if they put money on that account as well. Holy shit. Monetization model stealth downgrade. Without any explanation, the monetization model, e.g. the pity and the ceiling, it's called ceiling in Japanese, was worse than previously published information, drawing controversy. Some considered this even more serious than the story or AI issues. I mean, that is pretty scummy. Discussions gradually increased after story talk ebbed. Stealth patch to partner memory shard stats. After an early morning maintenance on October 24th, it was confirmed that the stats of the partners from paid gacha and memory shards equipment had been adjusted. Although the numbers were beneficial buffs, they were carried out with no notice. Given the company's track record, users worried that the future nerfs would also be done silently. So they're complaining that they got buffed. They're complaining that got buffed. I mean, the further part is like they're worried about something that didn't happen yet. About future nerfs would also be done silently. Like, wait until it happens, honestly. That afternoon, with a no maintenance hot patch, the buffed partners were nerfed back. Concerns became reality, and users even considered reporting to the Consumer Protection Agency. So, it could have just been something that was rolled out by accident and they didn't mean to. And once they realized it got rolled out, it was like, oh shit, roll that back. I mean, if that is the case of like it got rolled out by accident and they rolled it back by accident, just make a notice or something saying, oh, that happened by accident. We apologize for the confusion. But yeah. Patches targeting player strategies. As expected, bugs and systems helpful to users were proactively patched out. I mean, that's just like balancing. No? That's just balancing. Like the game is being played in a way that they didn't expect, so they balanced it to have players play the game in a way that they wanted them to. For example, a strategy where upon trauma in Chaos Exploration, using a trauma card would cause allies to attack themselves. Or using Collapse Overcome to cast EX skills at low cost, was removed by a no maintenance patch on October 30th. Since Epic 7, when users shared good strategies, the company repeatedly patched to counter them, so many said they expected this. And again, that's just balancing. Balancing happens in all fucking games at all times. It's just like, yeah, balancing. That depends on the bug, but sure. Yeah, I mean, it might not have been a bug. It could have been something that's in the game, but it's like they didn't realize how a certain mechanic or how a certain buff or whatever could be abused in a certain way, so they balanced it to take that out. I mean, depends on the bug, but if it's a nerf because too OP is an issue. Fighting game devs do that all the time. No, Reggie, exactly. That's what I'm saying as well. Like fighting games, RTS games, shooting games, like guns get nerfed and buffed and tweaked all the time. But this is gacha, not a fighting game. Okay. Global server gacha duplication bug. A cafe item that restores 80 stamina once per day could, due to sync issues, be consumed more than once per day. This mechanism was later found to apply to other actions, especially on the global server to rescue gacha. If you rolled gacha on a PC and mobile simultaneously, only the mobile currency would be consumed, but the PC result would also be granted. By exploiting this, if you did a 10 pull on PC and a 1 pull on mobile simultaneously, only the mobile 1 pull would be spent while you effectively received 11 pulls. By 30 minutes past midnight on October 28th, lights were reportedly on at headquarters. An unusually late night notice was posted as a stopgap. Simultaneous logins on mobile and PC were blocked. So this is like a literally game breaking, like revenue affecting bug. Like, is that? And yeah, that happened. And are the players angry about that? And was approving almost all. Wait. As of October 31st, due to service issues such as account deletion, self-stats patches and the get to duplication bug, Google apparently judged that the title had reliability problems and was approving almost all refund requests. Refund runs accelerated. How did they refund that? Did they refund the 10 or the 1? Like, they shouldn't refund either. Because if you roll 1 and 10 and you get the 10, but you rolled the 1, and then after all this, oh yeah, you fucked up, so we're going to refund you the money on the stuff on the 10, but that doesn't make sense. You can use AI like ChatGPT to translate text from images. I'll be quite honest, I have rarely ever used ChatGPT. I don't use AI shit for the most part. I think I've used it like once just to see what it was about. I'm like, but yeah, this is a massive bug, and I'm glad they fixed it. Nickname banned word filtering bug. The filter for banned strings like National Socialism, which most games disallow in nicknames, was lax. Simply entering the word in uppercase bypassed the filter. In Korean, adding extra characters to the front back of a banned word also bypassed the filter. Okay. I mean, these kinds of bugs happen all the time, so I'm like... There's a buff that grants grants 3 flashcards by force closing at the selection screen and re-entering and selecting again. It became 6. A patch completion... Okay, so... plagiarism allegations... Okay. This is the wreath thing we just looked at earlier. Again, to say that they're not... that the NTR thing and the symbol thing is the least, getting the least attention, it's getting brought up quite a lot. Ratings manipulation. There were indications that ratings were manipulated. In Google Play, fewer than 700 ratings within 24 hours of release surged to over 9,000 in just 2 hours. And 30 minutes later, thereafter, the vast majority being 5-star. That night, it exceeded 20,000. Despite controversies erupting all over communities and the game receiving the worst evaluations, by Koreans specifically, the average rose from the 3-point range to the 4-point range. Unless one assumes paid manipulation, these are numbers close to impossible in reality. But as real user ratings accumulated by day 4, the 25th, it fell to 3.8 with about 40,000 reviews. On day 5, there were 50,000 reviews, abnormally many compared to with peers. 1 second. I've turned music off as well, I just realized. According to App Magic anyway, there's been at least 1 million downloads. And I've heard a lot of people saying really good things about Chaos Zero Nightmare gameplay and such. So out of 1 million, saying like 40,000, that's like 4%. So 4% of the player base making reviews, I wouldn't be surprised. Like there's like totally there's like 50,000 here just in 1-star reviews. Music. And yeah, you're right. There are bots for reviews, and that is sadly normal. So I'm not denying that there probably are a few bot accounts in there, but like saying all of them are bots, I'm like, I don't know. So this just seems like speculation to me. Removal from popular charts. As of October 31st, 2025, Google Play forcibly removed the title from the top apps ranking category. This must be in Korea only because it's still... Sorry, let's bring it up again. On the JP side, unless they took it down and put it back, it was... What's it? Or is it ranked second last time I saw? It was ranked second last time I saw. That was yesterday. I can't find it now though. So maybe it's like been taken off the rankings. But yeah. This was due to an excessive number of reviews posted within days of launch, frequent bugs, and operations bordering on deception, which triggered a sudden flood of refund requests. Candidate for scam activity. Why? Right. So the bug, the pull bug was players were abusing a bug where they could pull once and get 10. And that was a game-breaking bug. So why is Chaos Zero Nightmare getting accused of being a scam? Because they were quite literally being the ones being scammed, no? The Megalia part, it said, a common tactic in hate groups is to take a gesture that did not originally have a hateful meaning and add a meaning known only within the group. I mean... all I can say is, who cares? I'm like, why? That's so weird. It's still so weird. The meaning of the pinch is pretty clear. Oh yeah, the meaning of the pinch is pretty clear, but like just getting like angry over a wreath, which is something that's used in a lot of designs, because it's usually for like official. It's in official insignias, and it's like represents like the wreath from like Greco-Roman times. It's like the laurel, yeah. Roman Empire wreaths catching strays from Koreans. The wreath started with like Rome, didn't it? Yeah, I think so. Mainly Rome, and then it went to Greece. Greece had olives, whereas Rome was bay leaf, I think. Or unless I'm like misremembering. I still don't understand how Chaos Zero Nightmares was a candidate for scam activity. Like, how? They were the ones getting scammed. No? The UN logo has a wreath? Holy fucking sh... Yeah, I know it was. I just want to show you. You know the reason why? It's because there's a conspiracy in the UN to pick on South Korean men for having small peepees. That's why. True. Absolutely true. Community opinion shaping allegations. Every fucking game does this. Like, we just had the thing with, like, most likely view botting on Wuthering Waves 2.7 playthroughs. Like, this... Don't give a fuck. Suspicions regarding the employee claim. Allegations. Caught posting a fully organized info thread about only 8 minutes after first asking, is the game fun? Claim to have purchased a package they had. So... I don't understand this. Again. Gacha manipulation. Okay, so this one I have seen in JP. Not about manipulation, but just saying how about the gacha rates are stupidly low. At 9 AM on November 1st, reports appeared that in Prism Module Observation, where you can obtain preset target after a certain number of pulls, i.e. the pity, the ceiling, some users received a different character even after hitting the ceiling. Ordinarily, because people rarely record the gacha screen live in such games, the credibility of initial reports was not high. Nonetheless, there were many who found it plausible since director Kim Kyung-sok had a prior history of manipulating gacha probabilities in his earlier title, Soccer Spirits. Ultimately, at 5 p.m. that Saturday, a sudden emergency maintenance notice for fixing in-game errors was posted, and after the maintenance, an additional notice belatedly admitted that there was an issue with the guaranteed gacha probabilities. The company, of course, insisted that this was an error, not manipulation. Okay, so this one is pretty fucking serious. Was it this person? No, let me go back. I want to put this aside. I watched a video yesterday of someone's review of Chaos Zero Nightmare, and the main complaint that they had were the gacha rates, and they did a lot of re-rolling. They did a lot of re-rolling, and they could not get the 5-star banner character. They got like the rate for the 5-star character banner was like 1% or something, 0.5%. And then the other 5-star characters was like 0.05% or something. I can't remember the exact numbers. But they had a lesser chance to get those characters, and they got those characters more often than the actual banner characters. So that's something I have heard. That's something that I have heard. So that one, yeah. I can at least corroborate that it's happened to other JP as well. And that's one of the main complaints I've seen on the reviews as well. 1 second, let me show you. Wait, it's on this one? Which one was it? Some of these negative reviews were saying that the gacha rates were way too low. So, yeah. At 8:40 p.m. on November 1st, an official notice on X, Twitter, announced that director Kim Hyung-suk would hold a live stream on the official YouTube channel at 9 p.m. So very, very quick, very soon, the same evening. Even though the broadcast was announced on very short notice, most streams in the Chaos Zero Nightmare category on the CHZZK platform restreamed it while it was live and combined concurrent viewership exceeding 20,000. However, due to an insincere attitude, non-apology explanations that continued, attempts to douse fires with materials, as in like free shit, and skipping over core issues, public sentiment worsened. The chat was filled with criticism and mockery. In particular, throughout the livestream, he repeatedly sighed as if forced to do something he did not want to do. Even though this was the first official broadcast less than 2 weeks after opening, the broadcast's image hit rock bottom. The main claims on the stream were as follows. Okay, so I'm just going to respond to 2 things specifically. He repeatedly sighed as if forced to do something he did not want to do. I would bet money that he did not want to do that live stream. I would put money down betting that, yeah, you're right. He probably didn't want to do a live stream. Not because of whatever he has to, but it's like, he's been getting a lot of flack from Korean players. And it's like, I would imagine he's just tired. Like, exactly. Who would want to? Exactly. Like, imagine if he came out. No, imagine if he came out on the live stream like, hi guys! So, here's the thing. I know Chaos Zero Nightmare is getting a lot of flack right now. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah. Like, dude, what the fuck? Allow him to, not want to do something. Fuck me. On the AI art thing, he denied it, saying, we are developing with a studio of over 100 people and internal information and various issues continue to spread in the community. If AI had actually been used in the game, in the in-game art, the truth could not be kept hidden. Again, I think some of the art I've seen can possibly be AI, or it could just be like the artist is shit, which is also another possibility, you know? Like, I do think they used AI art and translations, and I quit because of it, but I'm honestly starting to feel bad for these devs. I mean, yeah, those are perfectly things to have issues with. I would not begrudge you at all. Story. He acknowledged the in-game NTR. Okay, so there's actually a this one. This is what it's talking about. I can read through that in a second as well. He acknowledged the in-game NTR controversy. That's not what he said in the statement from what I read. The protagonist mistreatment controversy, the dialogue difference controversy between overseas and KR builds, and that the story went off the rails due to his own intervention as director. At the same time, he stated that the loop narrative format held the story back and made the outrageous remark that the departed writer's original plan actually got in the way. Regarding the NTR controversy that triggered the uproar, he said couplings would be kept only in-game. Not deleted, but minimized, and declared that external content would continue to depict relationships among characters other than the protagonist, which further fueled controversy. Which further fueled controversy. So again, this, for me anyway, it further strengthens the argument that most of this is about female characters having relationships with anyone other than protagonist. Yeah, so everyone's single in the game at all times. He declared that chapters 1 through 5 would be redubbed and renewed, but said it would be resolved by first quarter of next year, effectively tossing out an empty promise. Even if a renewal happens, the main scenario writer, the main story writer, is long gone. The genre has long since shifted to space adventure, and it is now clear that the in-house dev team failed to reconstruct the story for over a year prior to launch. Repeating the same approach is unlikely to yield a coherent result. I don't know, man. Other games have done more with less time, so I would say give them chance or something. If you, whatever. Are you feeling your IQ dropping? Yes, I am feeling my IQ dropping by the minute. The business model. He abruptly brought up business model and made a problematic comparison. Compared to Genshin, the cost to obtain a character is about 30% cheaper, and because there are no limited characters, players can more easily obtain characters over the long term. Considering the subculture gamer tendency to play multiple titles simultaneously, this sounded like a provocation telling players that of the mentioned game simply not to play theirs. Given that he said the broadcast was scripted, such remarks led to evaluations that the stance so far was not no response, but incompetence. Selecting Genshin, now considered outdated and expensive in business model, as a comparison target and claiming to be only about 30% cheaper also backfired. Examining whether this is truly cheap, the conclusion was that it is not. I mean, yeah, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But at the same time, they're not completely right either, because Genshin, whether people like to admit it or not, Genshin still has the largest amount of players. It's like, to use iPhone as the example, as we did earlier, iPhone has a lot of problems and a lot of pricing issues that a lot of people have specific problems with their pricing. So if another phone developer wanted to make a comparison saying, our phone can do better and it's cheaper than the iPhone, that would be a fair comparison, because the iPhone is the leading person in the market. So they want to like appeal to the people that are in that market, i.e. the iPhone havers, and say like, our phone is better and it's cheaper, so why don't you go and come off to play our game or use our phone? Like, yeah, Genshin fucking sucks in terms of their business model, but like him using Genshin as the example makes sense because they're the biggest player in the game right now. No pun intended. In the final question and answer to the question, in the overseas build, this part was translated as bridal class. Why is it rendered in Korean as an expression that completely changes the context? He gave the scarcely credible answer because of a bug. Also, for trust, one of the terms at the center of the translation issue, users in chat kept calling it affection. And even while recognizing that both terms were being used, he stubbornly referred to it only as trust. Looking at the broadcast, beyond tossing out IOUs, there was no immediate plan for responding to the current situation and nothing new. Normally, an emergency stream buys time for internal discussions, an apology and question and answer, a brief outline of responses, and announcements of additional notices of or another broadcast. Director Kim's stream did none of that. He simply read the script and ended it. I mean, okay. It's best not to go off script for stuff like this, in my opinion, but yeah. There was no need for it to be live. The script could have been posted as a notice. Possibly, probably, maybe. He admitted most of the issues currently being pointed out by users, yet offered neither a sincere apology nor methods for improvement. The stream thus came across as practically a provocation on the level of, if you have complaints, just quit the game. I want to get back to that in a minute as well. Given the company's long-standing reputation for user-hostile operations since the previous title, people have said that user-hostile operation is alive and well. As expected, this train wreck of an emergency stream ended up turning even some overseas sentiment against them. I have not. Has it? I haven't seen that, but in particular on Chinese platforms. Okay, that makes sense. There has been a flood of posts savaging Kim Kyung-seok's and super creative to the point that a movement to shun them in the Chinese market has risen. Okay. So this is the actual developer's note from the director. I read through this earlier, and it didn't say anything about NTR. When it came to like the story-related concerns here, to all protos, all captains, who were disappointed and confused by the story that felt different from what you had anticipated, I offer my sincerest apologies. We fully understand how disheartening it must have been to feel like a mere observer when you should have been the protagonist, fully immersed in the world of the game. In particular, I believe the way game characters build deeper bonds with other characters instead of the protagonist was a clear mistake on our part. So let me get this straight. In the official release, in the official response to like the concerns that people are having with the story, the main concerns people have been having with the story isn't because of the lack of the Lovecraftian Cthulhu type stuff, which is also something I've also read, but mainly due to like feeling like a third person and other characters having a deeper bond with other characters other than the main protagonist. These people have not spoken to a person in real life in like ever, have they? Like, to use the word captain as well, captain of a ship, captain of whatever, you're gonna have people underneath you. You're gonna have people like working for you that have deeper connections with each other than they do with you. So it seems like they don't want any other character to have a stronger bond with any other character stronger than the captain. That sounds so fucking entitled. It just does. It sounds so fucking... It sounds entitled. It sounds cringe as shit. Fundamentally, they want a master love game story. Yeah. And I'm just going to say... I'm going to say something that I get told all the time. Whenever I say about... Like, whenever I talk about, let's say, Wuthering Waves story. When I say, like, the master love shit is, like, cringe as fuck. Because it is cringe as fuck. And I would prefer if they didn't do that as much. Like, and honestly, they haven't been doing that as much. Rover is still the main protagonist, and but it's not on the level of, say, the onslaught of what we had. Chang Li, then it was Shorekeeper, then Camellia, and just like over and over and over. It's not on that level, like at all, nowhere near that. So they've been doing a lot better in terms of that. So whenever I say like, oh, I'd rather they don't do that, I have people in the comments and the replies saying, well, if you don't like it, go play another game then. Like, so can we not say the same thing to these people? Can we not say the same thing to these people? Like, if you don't like the lack of master love stuff in this game, why don't you go play another game? Like, I'm being like dead ass serious. Like, if you want a master love game, go play something like Snowbreak. Go play something like Girls Frontline 2. Go play something like Brown Dust 2. Go play a lot of other games. Like, find the game that has the story that you want. You don't need every fucking gacha game to be a master love circle jerk. Or is that just me? Oh, I want to show you. You guys are going to love this. I've seen this ad on Twitter so many times. It's doing my absolute fucking head in. Where is it? Where is it? Is it this one? No, it's not this one. Is it Rumble or Scramble? I see all the... Oh, here it is. This one. Yeah, I thought so. I've been saying this so much recently. Like, this ad will not get off my fucking timeline. Oh, it's absolutely AI. Yeah. But yeah, this video is on my timeline all the fucking time. Oh, this is what, yeah, it was this is what I was talking about, like how they're using AI. Look, she's got 6 toes. I was thinking about this game. I love the angle, by the way. Love the angle, but 6 toes, not really my thing. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. Oh yeah, so there's this thing about the story writer's departure as well, like the story writer leaving. Where is that? Because I do actually have a statement from one of the writers here. This was originally in Korean. This is something I found. But absolutely downvoted to fuck. This was like 400 downvotes earlier. It's up to 575. I don't know if this is the current writer or the past writer. The one that got, like, taken out. If everyone is lying except those that agree with you, maybe you are the one with an issue. I don't know what you're referring to. Sorry. So in this whole post here, I have not seen much when it comes to the story. Like the previous writer getting forced out. I'm looking for the previous writer getting ousted stuff. Not that. Lucas' voice actor mislabeling. I can't find it. Like in this entire page, it feels like the main issue was Owen. And their perceived role as being the main character in the story. I'm trying to, like, this is the page, this is the original Namu page that has like all that's supposed to chronicle all of the controversy. Did I miss it? Did I skip it? Did I skip it? Did I skip it? This is supposed to chronicle the entirety of the drama stuff from the Korean side. Oh, here. Got it. Found it. Got it. Don't know what it's looking at. Right. And the controversy over the neglect of the main character and its content that began to be highlighted as a source of controversies. It was triggered by past data discovered in a development leak while users who were angry at the management's selective inaction were digging up various information. Before going into it, the following content includes many unclear and speculative descriptions. It is appropriate to approach it with the understanding that it is not yet something that can be considered fact because there is no solid evidence. I think that's important to know. However, it is an undeniable fact that modifications were made to the original story plan that was originally planned as the official Smage. Don't know what Smage is. Oh, smartphone game? I'm guessing. Even though the story and settings were significantly changed at the time of the official release, there is still unfinished contents being discovered in-game. Previous controversies were also significant issues, but with this controversy, the reaction of the game community related to Chaos Zero Nightmare has entered a completely new phase. This is because this controversy is likely to be the cause of the previous controversies. This is because this controversy is likely to be the cause of previous controversies. And while the previous controversies were simply considered to be a lack of ability on the part of the developers, this controversy has revealed that the previous controversies were in controversy. Can I just say drama instead? Were in fact the product of malicious workplace bullying. Finally, something fucking of content. In addition, many of the suspicions raised through director Kim Hyung-sok's live press conference on November 1st were revealed to be true, and this is spreading as an unprecedented controversy in the history of the game industry. Don't know about that. I've heard about other story writers being ousted and all sorts of things, so I really want to drink this, by the way. I really want to fucking drink it. There are suspicions that the main settings and systems were completely changed during the production process through leaks and pre-released screenshots. As initially advertised as an endless nightmare, the game was originally designed to be a loop, and the detailed settings of the game system and characters were optimized for this. However, the hypothesis is that this was changed to the current system and story due to internal politics. Oh, internal politics unrelated to the game. In the original plan, the player, that is the first what? The first what? I don't know. That is, the first is... In the original plan, the player, that is, the first is not simply a captain and a psychiatrist therapist, but a good person who repeats failures as a loop ability user until there are no more victims. And Owen, who has been heavily criticized for the erosion of the main protagonist's importance due to the NTR controversy, is not a male protagonist, but a character who emphasizes the darkness of the worldview as a target for the protection and the victim of the loop. Oh, it's the first is named. I named them something else, but like the first, it's because it's not capitalized. I was getting confused. I said it was like the first problem. The first I was reading that in a completely different way. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. And Lenoa is not a character who belittles the main character, but is a character who is more devoted to supporting the captain than anyone else and becomes a mental pillar. In conclusion, the characterization of those who are being criticized at this point is close to being distorted in order to erase the traces of the previous writer. Right. I'm not surprised. Because, like, if they have a writer brought in, and then... Because this has happened before, by the way. If they have a writer that's brought in to do some work, and then they leave partway through, after putting a lot of work in, and then the team continues on with that person's work, and they don't change it, they don't make any changes whatsoever, they don't, like... And they still use it as is. When that game gets released, that writer who left can, like, sue the company for, like, payment and such. And it'll cause a lot of other issues. So them trying to, like, basically go through what the previous writer had done and, like, switch up everything, it's like they're trying to get rid of their work, because if they didn't get rid of their work, they would have opened themselves up to liability later on. Am I misunderstanding the situation there? No? But, like, isn't there a contract to prevent that? You'd think so, but, like, contracts can be very flawed. Like, if they left before their contract had finished, that the contract is already null. Then, on October 30th, 2025, it was revealed that the previous story writer presumed to be a narcotic. What the fuck do you mean narcotic? Cold weather? Oh no! Oh, that's the, okay. No, that's the translation of the person's name. That's the translation of the person's name. I was getting confused. It wasn't saying that they do drugs. It wasn't saying that they do drugs. Presumed to be cold weather. The person translated cold weather. Had been forced out due to internal politics and workplace bullying, and that the story had been maliciously edited. Despite the fact that the story and settings were revised by manipulating the previous writer's work, the newly created settings were not polished due to the lack of ability, which resulted in inconsistencies between the trailer and the official comics before release, and the in-game content. The biggest victims of the collapse of the settings, the biggest collapse of the character settings, to be specific, are the Noah and the Captain, and there are even suspicions that the characters were intentionally portrayed negatively to cause criticism against the previous writer. Again, suspicions. Then, when the production company attempted to manipulate the public opinion in the community and the story about the cold-blooded man, and the story about cold weather, the previous writer, came up. Not only did they not deny it, but they also failed to properly meet the deadline for a year. I was demoted because the quality was poor, as it was discovered that the writers who came over from Epic 7, were posting comments that were disparaging the writers, saying that if the writer is talented, the writers are even more talented, or those writers are even more talented. The writer and their actions are being identified. Since Gam Dogoyori, I can't read that, I'm sorry, didn't say much about this, it's not clear if he was a party involved, but at least it was accepted as an established fact that Suk, the director, kicked out the story writer who wrote the original story due to internal politics. And on November 1st, 2025, the director admitted to the controversy in an official broadcast confirming it as true. Yeah. This talking about this part here. The scenario writers, the story writers I worked with were talented individuals, but my excessive ambition and interference ultimately stifled their creativity. So this is what they're talking about. So yeah, that part does get confirmed. So it does seem like they were trying to interfere with the story. But it's like, yeah, that sucks. But in the end, isn't he the director? And if the person's writing a story that they are not happy with, don't they have a right to give input in that? No? It's like if you're a director of a movie and the person that's the director of photography, different director, like the actual movie director and the director of photography, if the director of photography is shooting the scene in a way that you don't like, don't you have the right to say, no, do it in this way? That would be like stifling their creative freedom, but they're still the director. They're the one in charge. Am I misunderstanding the situation? Like, if you want to make a game and you hire a writer to come in and write a story to fit this game that you have in your mind, you say, okay, write a story to fit this, and they write that, but there's something in there that you don't agree with or that you don't like. It's like, okay, can you change this? Isn't that your fucking right? They have the right, but don't know if director here is the same as producer in Japan, for example, where they can do something about it. I'm pretty sure they do the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same, no? True, but the end result was bad, so it's criticized. I mean, that's fine. That's completely fine. But like, criticizing him for like getting in the way or stifling creative freedom, like, that's his right to do so. Like, if I as a YouTuber, if I get an editor and I make a video and I hand that video off to an editor and I say, okay, edit this video please, and they come back and the edit that they gave me is something that I'm not really happy with, or like there's too many sound effects I don't really like, there's too many memes in there, there's too much stuff in there that I don't like. I'm like, okay, can you like change it? Can you remove this? Can you change that? Can you edit this video? Can you edit this video in a different way? Like, that's a case of like stifling their creative freedom. No, but it's my right as the person that's in charge to do so. Yeah, why are we talking about Stellosora, guys? We're not talking about Stellosora. This is about Chaos Zero Nightmare. So I can only speak for writing in the West, but from experience as a director or producer will absolutely make a writer make revisions or outright changes between drafts. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Like, that's something that happens, and that's also something that happens in JP side. I know for a fact they do as well. I know for a fact they do. Because I just went through a huge article about the writing process, like how the writing process happens in Japan. I can't imagine it'd be too much different in South Korea, no? Okay. I think it's the right thing to do, but having creative freedom is okay, but you need to put limits so the writer doesn't go overboard. Yeah, I think a lot of writers just go overboard and need to get like reined back. And that's also something that was in the article that I made videos on, where the person writing the article is a writer, and they said the same thing as well. Like, writers can sometimes go too far and they need to be like reined back in. If the former story writer is indeed, I'm guessing that's Cold Weather, it can be seen that the company, despite halting the web novel, Cold Weather was serializing under the pretext of focusing on the game's story, thoroughly erased even the company's work that they had worked on while stopping the web novel serialization, damaging the writer's career. Again, that sucks. But that's a bad day, because they took the job and they took the job of their own volition and they left of their own volition. Like, that's just a bad day. That's just sad for them. I'm sorry, but like, yeah, it sucks, but that's their responsibility, I think. Personal responsibility on that one. Fortunately, the crisis of his career being cut short has been averted, as it was recently revealed that he had moved to the Blue Archive team. Cool. There were also suspicions that illustrator CZN, who had worked at Super Creative in the past, had quit due to exhaustion from internal politics, so the above circumstances are becoming more credible. In the article about the situation, a user, the first art director, testified that he had participated as a developer in FM Korea and testified that the previous first PD had put in a lot of effort to form Cold Weather, I think, and the development team, and that everyone worked passionately. But Kim Hyung-seok ruined it all. So basically saying it's all the director's fault. I'm like, yeah, but it's his game. It's literally his game. A good producer makes or breaks a project? Absolutely. Like, it's his game. The game that they released, that's the one that he wanted, so he can live or die by that. You know? And if people like the game but don't like the story, that's their choice to make. I'm still trying to get my head around it. So there was a writer, apparently a pretty good writer, and that writer was working on something, and he was approached to write the story for this game. They made that deal, and they wrote a story. And the story was not how the director, the person that hired them, wanted them to write the story. So the director tried to put things in the story that they wanted, because it's their game and their story that they want. It's like they're having them write it, but it's still their story, like they own it. And they didn't. And the writer, the one that got brought in, didn't like that they were being told to add this or change that. So they left of their own volition again. Yeah, it sucks. Like having something cancelled on you, but you're leaving of your own volition. Like it sucks, but you're getting hired to do a job. Gamdogor is equivalent to cold weather. The writer's nickname is that, which means guy who catches a cold. That's being translated as cold weather. Again, I don't speak Korean. Yeah, can we stop arguing about Stellosora? No, I don't care about Stellosora. We're talking about this game right here. Yeah, no, Reggie, I'm getting the same thing as well. I don't get the bullying. I don't know what the bullying is. It's like they were getting feedback from their employer. Their employer wanted them to do the story in a certain way. And then they're just like, isn't the writer kicked? Not left? I'm trying to find it. It says workplace bullying, but I've not seen any examples of that. Forced out. They say forced out, but how were they forced out? Shook. Okay, so it's here. Okay, wait, hang on. Since cold weather, the guy who catches a cold, didn't say much about this. It's not clear if he was the party involved, but at least it was accepted as an established fact. It was accepted as an established fact, but not proven, that the director is kicked out the story writer. And in the official statement, my excessive ambition and interference stifled their creativity. But it never says they kicked them out, or it didn't say that. I can't find evidence of them being bullied. Getting feedback of saying, I want this story written this way. That's not bullying. If you think that's bullying, then you're just fucking snowflake. Yeah, this seems to be the main thing that people are trying to say. Oh, no, this is the main issue. And I can't find evidence of that. It didn't say the writer left on their own either. True. Actually, no. That's completely true. Thank you very much. That's very true. We don't know either way. So this artist here quit, so they left of their own volition. But we don't know if the cold weather guy left or was forced to quit. Honestly, I doubt they were forced to quit. I doubt they were fired. I doubt they were fired. I think it was just a case of they didn't want to make the changes that they were being asked of. It sounds like a directional disagreement, and like they both parted ways. Yeah, it feels like that, which is something that happens all the time. I wonder if the former writer was just a prick. I don't know. I have no idea. To some degree, the producer must take a writer's vision into account, but it can lead to complications, and this isn't abnormal at all. Exactly. Yeah, it happens all the time. Like, I follow movie news, like Hollywood movie news and such. It happens all the time. Like, movies can be in production hell for like decades because there'll be like creative differences between the writers and production, and it happens all the time. That's just part of the process. Yeah, so it says it was accepted as an established fact, but it was never proven as a fact. Also, by the way, fucking wood. Oh, hell yeah. So this is the original story. I've kind of gone through this about the time loop and Edge of Tomorrow, or like all you need is kill type thing. I like this. So I'm not even like saying that I'm against the writer, because I'm not against the writer, because I don't like their story. The story sounds pretty cool. But like, I don't know. Like, maybe this version of the story could have been better. Possibly. Probably. And this is just going on the background of like, this was the original story of like Edge of Tomorrow, time loop type thing, and this is the director's scenario thing. Like, from what I understand, the director wanted a character in the story that was basically him, like their own self insert. I'm like, well, in this case, they're literally the director. It's their game. It's their story. So they have the right to do so. I wouldn't recommend it because I fucking hate Mary Sue's. But they have the right to do so. Like, I think they are the only person that has the right to do so. Even if it's wrong, it's their story, so exactly that's what I'm saying. Like, and this is just going over. Okay. Yeah, no, I could not find, unless there's some evidence that I am not missing, that I just whatever that I'm not seeing. I could not find any evidence that there was actually bullying going on, and that the story writer was fired, or that they left of their own volition, just so we're all clear. I haven't seen any fucking evidence. And with like the behind the scenes stuff of like creative differences, that happens all the time, and it never gets this level of drama. It really does feel like Owen is the biggest problem, and people are using all this other shit to use as an excuse, or just like false justification for why they're angry. Like, oh yeah, we're not that angry about Owen. No. It's all this other stuff here. I'm sorry, that's just the way it sounds. That's just the way it reads. I've read through this entire thing. Am I missing anything? I'm getting my throat is kind of getting like a dry now. If there's anything I'm missing, I want to be told right now. It may have stuff you didn't see. Yeah, but I'm not gonna. I don't do like reaction content, so I'm not gonna watch Red News video on here. I've seen that Smack has also released a video on this as well. I saw the first beginning part of that. But I've not seen the entire thing. Yeah, just reading through this entire thing. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Well, no. It does make sense. Like, I understand what the situation is, but the situation itself is fucking stupid. Just the way it reads to me. And I'm not going to watch a Smack or a Red News video on stream, so I'll watch those off stream. So it's best if I end now and go watch those. But I don't know, unless there's some big amount of information that was not in here or in these other Reddit posts I've tried looking at. I don't know if I'll be convinced. So people don't want to spend money on director's personal wet dream having love with virtual character. That's perfectly fine. No, that's fine. Like, I'm not saying anything about that. Like, I get it. I get that. That's fine. But the use of the word NTR in all this is just like really weird. Like, from what I've seen, it's like they don't want any other character to have any relationships with any other character stronger than the relationship that they have with Captain. I'm like, that's just pathetic. If you need to have every character be on their knees blowing you at all times, you need to get the fuck out. You just go out, touch grass. That's fucking weird. Most of them don't want male characters at all, but to say to that I say go play Snowbreak. Yeah, go play Snowbreak. Go play Girls Frontline 2. Go play some Brown Dust 2. Whatever. There's like dozens of other games you can play to get that. Which, fine, but this game isn't that kind of game, so what are you doing here? Yeah, it's like, the game's good. Like, if you've got problems with the story, that's another issue, but it seems like the main problem that people have with the story isn't that it wasn't the story that the original story writer had, but mainly because of Owen. I'm like, alright. Snowflake? That's just weird. It's just weird. I'm getting tired now. I'm going to try and work on a video about what does Japan think about Chaos Zero Nightmare, which we'll be going through a bunch of these reviews here, videos I found on YouTube. There aren't many, to be fair. And that when it comes to reviews or opinions, reviews or opinions and stuff. There's like this video here, like 16,000 views. It's not getting that much attention on YouTube from what I can find. I've not seen many streams with a lot of views on either. There are a few build guides and such, but when it comes to like opinions on the story, opinions on the gameplay, I found like 3 or 4. I'm also going to be looking at the comments and stuff that I can find on Twitter as well. So, and I do not want to really address this whole NTR issue in that video either. Just so we're all clear. I'm just going to go like, this is what the JP is saying about the story, about the gameplay, about all that. That's all I'm going to be doing. So, yeah. I need to go have a rest. My brain's not working. My throat's not working. Like, it's just like, I'm so fucking tired. Haru? Yeah, someone said that Haru can be built really well. One second, where is it? Anyway, yeah. I gotta go. I'll see you all later. Take care. Peace.